J-Town. Thank you. He says, you're not the only one praising Quinton Bell at camp. Hope the dude is able to stick for us. Well, we'll see. But right now he's playing well. And I give credit where credit is due. And that's what and I mentioned Quinton Bell before even Quinton Bell started performing. When Shaq Barrett retired, go look at my tweet and it's there and you'll see it. And I said, hey, man, this is an opportunity right now for Quinn Bell and even Cameron Good. So Quinn Bell has stepped up, has taken advantage of it. He's young, he's athletic as hell. And, the Quinton Bell factor is the same thing as Ezekiel Vandenberg. It's the same thing as any of these other fringe players that you have on your team at that position that can play outside, that can rush the passer, all that kind of stuff. If you can actually find this is the year, this is the moment to find a diamond in the rough at that position. This is the time. So you have a bunch of those young linebackers out there, pass rushers. You got to hope that Kamara busts out. You got to hope that Chop busts out. You got to hope that then a Quinton Bell who becomes what you lost, already in AVG. That you got to find that guy, and you got to hope that that guy is on the roster this year. And maybe Quinn Bell is that guy. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure, but it would be really, really nice because you cannot rush Jalen Phillips back and Bradley Chubb back. You want to keep them long term. You don't want to try to suffer any kind of setbacks. You don't want to act desperate, that kind of stuff. So, yes, Calais Campbell's going to give you something. Chop should give you something. Kamara should give you something. You're going to get something from the other guys, but there needs to be a surprise. There needs to be a shocker. It's not something, it's whoa. It's the guy you don't want to bench when your two guys come back. And you're like, okay, no, he's got to be part of that rotation. So that's what this is all about. Will Quinton Bell stick, J-Town? I don't know, man. I don't know, but I can only tell you what I see, what I'm watching with my eyes when I'm out there. And it's nice to have a guy that has been here since last year. System's different, by the way, but he's a young guy and he's got the right coach that can communicate with him and give him an opportunity. Because last year, clearly, Fangio didn't have he wasn't going to make the time because he wasn't going to be here a long time and he knew it. I'm sure he knew it at some point in the season, and he's just like, "Nah, I'm going to do things my way." And either you give me the pieces that fit. I'm not going to be adjusting my stuff just for this guy or that guy. I am not doing that. I'm setting my ways, and that's cool. And there's nothing wrong with being set in your ways if you're successful. I was talking about that with somebody in camp, and I told them, "Hey, has Warren Buffett adjusted to Bitcoin? No. Does he need to adjust to Bitcoin? No. No. What's Warren Buffett got left in life? You know what I'm saying? He's got billions. What does he need Bitcoin right now for? He doesn't. So he doesn't need to adjust to what's coming. And that's all right, dude. If it works for you, Frankie's Pizza has been on Bird Road and 92nd, 94th, whatever the hell it is. It's been there for nearly 60 years. They make pizza the same way for 60 years. Do they need to change? No. No. You know what's the most they changed? They started taking credit cards like maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago. Oh, no, it was the pandemic that forced them to take credit cards. Frankie's Pizza started taking credit cards. The pandemic, my brother. Okay, that's the only adjustment they've made. Outside of that, Frankie's Pizza is the same pizza I got when I was a kid in the '80s. Same pizza. Same delicious square pizza. Awesome. Sometimes you don't need to change, and that's all right. It's good. We're all right with that. If your product is what it is, you know, you don't have to. La Spada next door. They don't need to change, dude. They don't need to change a goddamn thing. Forgive the language, but that's just the way it is. Nothing. They make their subs, they kick ass, the bread's delicious. Bam, bam, bam. They're throwing it in the air from one person to the other. Boom, it's over. It's a show. Yeah, you got your sub, you walk out your door and you're home free. And it's been like that since I was covering the Dolphins in the '90s, going to La Spada, and now. So, sometimes you don't need to change. And Fangio didn't need to change. But Weaver does. Weaver's a guy that's going to adjust, and he's going to reach Cater Kohu, who was making plays yesterday, who's looking good, who's looking like himself. He was playing with swag yesterday. And I like that. And that's what you need. You need to be playing, you need to do things with confidence. You can't do things with a lack of confidence. That's not going to allow you to achieve. You think Kane's where it got here to where it's at with a lack of confidence? Started in a warehouse, bro. Now they every time they get bigger, they fill it up quickly, and then they gotta get bigger than that now. And they're probably already thinking about where what are we gonna do now? How are we gonna expand? Because this place is already getting jacked again. This thing's blowing up like Barry Bonds' head in the middle of a home run chase going for 70. So, young players are going to excel. Quinton Bell will have an opportunity of a lifetime. Vandenberg, whatever, any of these cats, whenever Cameron Good comes back, they're all going to have an opportunity because Chubb and Phillips are out. And they're not going to be back full strength deep into the season. And they're not going to be themselves till 2025. Let's be honest. Okay. So a surprise is needed. Let's hope it's Quinton Bell. Let's hope Kamara does some and Chop, but one of them has to be special. It's John Offerdahl. It's one of those. It's the Zach Thomas. It's we haven't had one of those. Oh my God, who's this Western Michigan? Right? Was it Western Michigan Offerdahl? I want to say something like that. Okay, this guy's from Texas Tech, and he's like 4'2". Who is this guy? Zach Thomas. And then all of a sudden they become, yeah, and it would be nice to have one of those again. It would be nice to have one of those young guys because I'm old enough to remember John Offerdahl coming out of the fifth round, I believe, also, something like that. And Zach was definitely fifth round. No, maybe was Offerdahl? No, second round. That's what it was. Second round. Yes. 56. That's where the 5 is at. 56, right. Second round. It is Western Michigan. There you go. So, I remember that when, it's nice to have that, and it would be nice to have one of those guys just pop, and it would relieve a little pressure. So, when you're getting Phillips back and you're getting Chubb back, you're like, "Alright, we're really rolling now." And the more of these pass rushers you have, the more you can get after Josh Allen, the more you could get after Pat Mahomes, the more you can get after Joe Burrow. The top passers that you need to bring down, you're going to need a lot of those guys. And that was proven that whenever Brady lost, it's because you got to him. And Brady would have trouble when he was down here because you got to him. You know what I'm saying? And when he lost those Super Bowls to the Giants, it's because you got to him. So it would be really nice if a pass rusher steps up for the Miami Dolphins.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.